Hey everyone, it's Jen at Ink Paper Rubber. We got a Lawn Fawn order in today and I wanted to be sure and share it with you. Of course, Lawn Fawn had their summer release a couple of weeks ago and we had a lot of it in and we sold out of a lot of it very quickly. So we made sure to order some more. So I have lots of goodies from the summer release. I have a couple of things from a previous release as well as something from the summer release we had not had before. So let me just show you what we got in. If you missed out on something the first go around, this may be your chance to snag it. First of all, there was a lot of fun beach themed products in this release. I don't have them all back here. I only have the ones we got in this order, but some of the other things in this release we do still have in stock that are kind of beach and summer themed. So the first one is the Sunrise Backdrop die. This one was really popular. You can see it's a full cover plate die. It cuts out your rectangle. It cuts out this beautiful sun and sun rays, and then it has all this great stitching definition on it. So really fun to make some backgrounds with it. Also, speaking of backgrounds, is this new Tropical Backdrop die. Hey there, Linda. And once again, this cuts out your rectangle with stitching around the edge of it, and then it has basically you can see your beach here with the stitching, and you have palm trees on each side of it. And you also get the other palm tree dies so that if you want to cut them out and do different colors and layer the trunks and the palm fronds on those palm trees, you have the pieces to do that. Speaking of palm trees, we also have this cute little palm tree border die, and you get a couple of border dies. One of them is stitched with the palm trees on it, and one of them that just cuts out. And actually the first one is not stitched. Whoops, let me see if I can get in focus there. But the other one does have kind of the little, it actually looks more like little pinpoint detail on there. And again, this is really nice because you get the separate palm frond so that you can layer those over the trees on the border. This is a die that is designed to be used for waves, although you could certainly use it for, I think, other things as well. But you get 3 different dies in here. You have different sizes of waves. They all cut out and they have the stitching detail along the top of them. And what's really fun is there is also a new slider die so that you can make fun slider cards. And this has 2 slider dies in it, and these actually match up with the 2 larger waves on there, so you can actually cut out your ocean waves and then make a slider that exactly follows those to have your little boat or fish or dolphin or whatever is going to be sliding follow along with those waves. The last product that we got back in that has to do with beach things is this one, which is called Sandy Beach Accents, and this one is designed to be snipped apart. You can see you get lots of different pieces in here. And what this does is this just kind of cuts a little slit in your backdrop and puts a stitching line under it. So you can make a beach scene and cut these so you can tuck things into the sand if you want to. And I will show you a sample that kind of gives you a better idea how that works. Kind of the next theme in this release is they had an animal theme in this release. Lots of really fun things. The first one is this stamp set, which is called Say What Pets. And you can see on here we have the little dog and the kitty and the bird. And there is a speech bubble. And then we have some fun little things that you can add in your speech bubble if you want. And there is also a die set that cuts out the 3 critters as well as the speech bubble. And if you can't get enough of those sentiments, there is this one, which is the Critter Chatter Pets. And you can see it has all the kind of what you would have your dog or your cat. We can see birds there and also fish. And what's really cute is then down at the bottom it has translation, and you can have it say translation, happy birthday, I love you. And this might show it a little bit better. Here they have used all those phrases to create this fun backdrop, and then down here at the bottom it says translation, I appreciate you a lot. And you might notice that really fun background with all those cut out speech bubbles. That is from the speech bubble backdrop die. Again, cuts out a rectangle, puts the stitching around it, and then it cuts out all of those speech bubbles so you can put fun things in there. Also keep in mind when you cut it out, you also have all these cut out speech bubbles that you can use on another project if you want. This is another die that is similar to that, but it's a little bit different. It's the stitched speech bubble. And again, it cuts out a rectangle, but on this one, instead of actually cutting at the openings into your backdrop, it just does the speech bubbles by putting the stitch lines in your background. So that one is really fun, and I have a sentiment that I will show you that might help with that a little bit. The next critter set that we have is this cute little set called Keep On Swimming. This one was really popular. This one sold out really quickly. You can see we have a cat there, and we have some fish, and it's really fun because you can have your fish, if you want, here turn into a puffer fish, and I'll show you a really cute application of that. There's also the fish bowl and the table for the fish bowl to sit on, and the cat can be looking up at the fish bowl, just like you see in this cute little sample. And here is a sample. We are going to be doing this in an upcoming class in June. It is a reveal wheel card, and you can see we've used the Keep On Swimming set, and here the fish changes. He starts to puff up a little bit, and then he puffs up a lot. So that is really fun. We do have the reveal wheel die in stock if you haven't gotten one yet. It makes some really fun interactive cards. And speaking of reveal wheel, we also got back in the Essential Shapes templates for the reveal wheel. This helps you actually stamp your sentiments or your images in the appropriate place on the wheel so that you don't have to guess and get them in the right spot. There is one that we have in stock for the fishbowl, which also we have that add-on in stock, but this is the one that goes with the original reveal wheel. So if you have that, you definitely might want to pick that up. Another new stamp set that's kind of in the whole animal genre is this one, the Peacock Before and After. This is one of their mid-size sets, and you can see you have the peacock, and then you have him with all his tail feathers fanned out. And there is a die for that. And here you can see a great application of that is on the Magic Picture Changer die. So here he is, and then when you open it up, here he's all got his tail feathers all spread out. And that uses the Magic Picture Changer die, which we have back in stock, as well as the Magic Picture Changer add-on. And just show you another fun little sample with the Magic Picture Changer in case you're not convinced you need it. This is also going to be an upcoming class. It uses the Happy Stamp set from the spring release, which we also still have in stock. And you can see here when you open this one up, the little peas jump up out of the pea pod. So Magic Picture Changer is a really, really fun die to play with. All right, just a few more things. One of their mini sets in this release was called a Little Sparkle, and you can see it has the cute little unicorn and some fairies. And there is a die set to go with it. They also have a new interactive die. This is their center picture window die. And here is an example of what you get. It makes this adorable little mini card. And when you open it up, you have this fun center picture window that kind of pops out and makes almost like a little shadow box effect. There is also an add-on for that, and the add-on cuts out these side panels and does the nice stitching on them, and it also cuts out your front panels. This next one is maybe one of my favorites from this release. It's very basic, but sometimes the most basic dies are the most useful, and this one is called Just Stitching, and this is a nesting rectangle set. It does not actually cut anything out. All it does a double line of stitching in this rectangle on whatever you place it on. And here is an example. We're going to be using it. This is from our upcoming Art Impressions watercolor class. And you can see how on this watercolor panel, I have just used that to add this nice stitching detail, and it just kind of frames the whole thing in really nicely. So I think that's one that we're going to use over and over again. The very last thing to show you is something from the summer release that we did not have in the first time. This is their cake slice box die, and this one is really fun. You can see what it makes is it lets you make a little cake slice box. The top lifts off so you can put little gifts in there, little candies or a little present. would be great to make like shower favors, bridal shower, or even baby shower favors. Just really, really fun, and there's so many ways you can decorate it to make different kinds of cake. And I will show you that right now, along with some other samples here. This is a sample of the a little sparkle with a little unicorn, and I love that with the rainbow kind of background there. I think that's really fun. Here is the cake slice box, and here it looks like they have made maybe a strawberry filled cake there. You do get all these side pieces so that you can decorate it however you would like. And here you can see when you take the lid off, you can tuck a little treat inside. This is the sandy beach accents, and I think you can see there, you can see how the treasure chest is kind of tucked into the sand, and that's because it has cut that little slit there and added the stitching detail so that instead of having things just sit on top, you can tuck them in. Here is a sample using both the palm tree border and the tropical backdrop. The tropical backdrop is the frame and the two larger palm trees on either side, and then the palm tree border in the background, and then that gorgeous, gorgeous sunset background. I think that one is just a stunning card. Here is an example with the stitched simply wavy borders. You can see there the waves on top, and then it also has the slide on over die that I told you, and you can see how that perfectly matches the curve of those waves. Here is one again with the tropical background, and then this one also has the sunrise backdrop there with those pretty sun rays, and again a really pretty background behind that. And then finally, this one is the stitched speech bubbles, and you can see here how it has not actually cut those speech bubbles out, but rather it has just put that stitching detail on the background, and I think that's really fun. Here they've used it with the Critter Chatter stamp set, but there's so many other things that you could stamp in there besides that if you wanted to. All right, that is all that I have for you for right now. Remember, we still have our classroom clearance going on. We still have a lot of really great items, so I hope you will stop by and check it all out. Hope you have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.